Hello everybody, we're going to be looking at a scenario on what if the French and the Germans went to war. We are going to have the Germans as the invading force because, we can kind of assume why. After a while, this could possibly involve other nations, but, for the simple reasoning of the video, NATO will be disbanded. We will see Germany to start making some gains on this area where we see the French start pushing in to this area. In Luxembourg, allowing French troops to move past their land allows them to capture this region fairly easily, whereas the Germans are having some struggle due to French resistance, but still making some pushes. Switzerland, of course, remains neutral, and the rest of Netherlands, Belgium, remain neutral. The United Kingdom condemns both invasions. Um, so we're gonna have to see what happens from there. But the Germans continue to push the French, whereas we see the Germans start reclaiming some land. And due to the fact that the Luxembourg allowed the French to move troops through Luxembourg, the Germans would then declare war, annexing Luxembourg not annexing, but invading Luxembourg pretty easily. Then we would see German troops occupy this entire region. Now, the United Kingdom, Poland, Switzerland, Austria, Italy, Ukraine, the United States, and Spain all request a ceasefire in order for peace talks, whereas the two nations agreed to a temporary ceasefire. And peace talks aren't doing so good for Germany, so Germany decides to end the ceasefire and begins pushing troops through. Germany begins to illegally move troops through Belgium, causing Belgium to join the war on the side of France. Immediately, Belgium goes to try and liberate Luxembourg, of which is successful at first until German troops immediately overrun Belgium's troops, and the Germans start pushing into Belgian territory. With a fairly successful invasion going on, the Netherlands would remain neutral, but they condemn both French and German forces. Now, the Germans are now stuck at a stalemate. This war may not continue further, and for this, the Germans have a little trick up their sleeve. The Italians have been preparing small amounts of troops. Well, not small, but decently sized troops at the border of France and on this island. I forget the name of it. I know that one's Sicily, but begin preparing troops on this island, and immediately Italian troops flood this island and begin to make gains in southern France. With this, the French have an idea of calling Poland onto their side in this war. Oh no, I just realized what this was. I'm getting World War II flashbacks. Germany begins moving troops into Poland. which is going very successfully. Poland requests a ceasefire and Germany accepts. The stalemate ends in small capturing back of French territories by the French, but Belgium is still getting murdered. Their capital is taken and they surrender. The Germans station troops in this area and immediately begin to push, taking, forget what this area over here is called. Um, the Germans are planning a sneakful naval invasion of Brittany with roughly 15,000 troops strong. Decent sized navy is going to carry along, and this is what it looks like. French seeing it. French deploy their navy right there. The German navy begins to move. The Netherlands allows the Germans to pass. Same with the United Kingdom. But the United Kingdom would also allow the French to pass. And the navies clash, and what ends up happening is the Germans end up retreating. Well, the little bit of the Germans that were able to retreat ended up retreating, but most of it ended up getting destroyed. Um, yeah, so basically, there's really not much the French can do here. So they make the wisest choice of this war so far. They begin to call some allies into the war, which one being the Czech Republic and the other being Spain. But with this, Germany calls Austria into the war. Oops, wrong color. Ain't that much Austria can do, but it's gonna be useful, to say the least. German troops begin to move into this region, and they occupy this part of the Czech Republic. They end up nearing the capital and a ceasefire happens. Poland begins trying to capture some land from the Germans, and the Germans basically say like no and begin invading the Polish. This is what they capture before a ceasefire is introduced. Now the French basically saying, well, we're screwed. What can we do? They surrender. This is what the peace treaty will look like. Um, so the Germans will gain like about that bit of land. What's left will be forced to unify with Slovakia, and the Germans will gain a tiny bit of land from the well, not a tiny bit, it's a decent amount, but they'll gain that land from the Polish. Austria will also get some land. Like, I know my border drawing is kind of bad, so. Yeah, that's terrible. Let's make it more of that. Still terrible, but it is what it is. Now on to the French area, the Germans will annex all of this. The Netherlands offers to annex what is left of Belgium, and Belgium accepts. This is the end of the war. This is what the final Spain, they get a whole bunch of well, they got a whole bunch of reparations from the war. So yeah, this is the end result.